know, hi, hi everyone. It's Granny, and I am here doing my weekly podcast. I'm glad you're here with us. And if anyone would like to do a podcast with me, reach out to pajamagranny@gmail.com and we can hook up and figure out what you are offering and to put you on the podcast. Today, I have Sister Kelly back. She wanted to talk
Hello.
about a topic. So, hello, Kelly. And
Hello, howdy, Pajama Granny. How are you?
good, thank you. You ready
I
for the
s-
holidays? It's 10, I guess we have 9 more shopping days, I heard. So
oh
that was a little
yeah.
scary. And so I don't know if you're out hustling and bustling doing that or if you're all done.
I
But
yep, I am pretty much done. Amazon is my best friend when it comes Christmas time. I
okay.
just, and my family, all my extended family out of state is really good about doing Christmas lists and birthday lists. And so it makes
Oh,
it super easy for me. I love it. And then
all
I
right.
literally can be done in like 30 minutes or less with everybody, getting everybody's presents just taken care of. So
Oh,
I don't
well,
have
that's
to,
good.
yeah, I don't have to wrap them. I don't have to store them. I don't have to mail them. It's all, it's Amazon. Thank you, Amazon. So yeah, because I'm not,
No, I'm not getting
used to,
specs from Amazon by you
yeah.
mentioning them. So everybody knows. I did it the old fashioned this year. I decided to
Did
go
you?
shopping, mail
Really?
it. And
Really?
yeah, I don't know if I'll do that again because, yeah, it was fun to wrap, but mailing is expensive.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah. So I may go back to Amazon.
Yeah.
In fact, I got to mail a package, another package today, so it'll get there before Christmas. So
Okay.
I will be doing that today too. All right, so Miss Kelly, let's get started on this topic that you wanted to share today.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. You have to forgive me.
Okay.
I don't know. I every time we start a podcast, I get froggy. I don't know why, but I do, and it's not fun. Anywho, yeah. I am organizing my craft room, and it's also my guest room. It's also home of the original Pajama Granny studio, and so I thought, hey, this would be a good time. We're coming up to the end of the year and we're heading into a new year. So, what a great time to get organized and clean out the old, because, of course, we're going to have new stuff to store, in this new year. And so that's kind of my topic today. And I was thinking about us, Deb, as when we were children. Your room was always clean. Now, how come?
Mhm.
My room was usually messy. Now, I did have to share, but
Yes.
even after I no longer had to share my room, so let's say I think I was in high school I was by this point, but my room would get so full of clutter and I would pretty much do a number on it to clean it all up like once a year. It was usually when at the end of the school year. So I would
Oh,
stack all my papers. I would keep everything um, from that particular grade level. All my homework papers that got sent back home when we were done with all that. And I don't know, just all kinds of stuff. So I'd have stacks and stacks of things in my room, and they'd be like all over my floor. But I'd go into your room and it was always pristine. And I was curious, like, are you still like that? I think you are. Do you have a key? Like, what is it that helps you to stay organized? And then I'll kind of just share with you too, like what some of my things are. But do
well, my secret growing up when we were kids, everything was under my bed.
oh, I see. I never looked under your bed. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I never looked under your bed. That's too funny.
Um,
But your
I it
closet was neat.
For
You know.
me, it's hit and miss. Like my room that I started videotaping in at
Mhm.
home. I mean, it was full of clutter because I was changing it from a guest room to my office studio type thing. And
Mhm.
I just kept videotaping through all the mess. I didn't care. That's
Yeah.
life, you
Yeah.
know.
Right. Right.
Yes, I like to be organized and everything in its place. Um, I have a very bad habit of rearranging furniture and changing things constantly.
Really?
So maybe that, yes.
Okay.
Um, I just, uh, and as I got older and I retired, I decided that less was more
Okay.
because I want a tiny house. So I want to live in a little box. So
All right.
so I started getting rid of things. It's like I don't need 20 pairs of shoes, you know.
Yeah.
Um, if you have to go to the laundromat, here's what I was thinking the other day because I'm in
Yeah.
the transaction where I'm going to the laundromat now because I'm out of
Yeah.
town.
Right.
So if you go to the laundromat, I say you have to have more clothes than you do if you have a washer and dryer. Because at home, I can throw in a tiny load, and now washers are, uh, they have all those dials where you can have tiny load, medium load, large load,
Yes.
um, for the water level, so you're not wasting water. But when you
Right.
go to the laundromat, it's one wash, so you want to fill it up, you know.
Mhm.
So I run into that I wish I had more clothes with me. So when I do go to the laundromat, it's a full load. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of in my mindset now. There's a lot of things I want, but I don't need. And it's like when I go grocery shopping, because I'm trying to stay fit, I
Yes.
go down aisles and it's like, do I really need this? I know I want it, or my brain wants this candy bar right now, but I don't need it, So I may push it
Right.
around in the grocery cart until I leave. And it's like, okay, who's watching me? I can't have this in my cart and go check out. So then I go put it
You
back, ladies.
go put it
Don't
back.
throw it on the shelf just next to you. I worked
Right.
retail. That
Right.
was the
Me too.
I literally go back and put things where they belong. I cannot
Right.
stand to toss it on just any shelf.
Anywhere.
Yes, and
Yeah.
especially when I find cold stuff in the dry goods area, it's like, come on, people,
Yeah.
you wait.
That's bad.
Food's expensive as it is.
Mhm.
So thank you for thinking my room was clean. In appearance, it was.
It was. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it never even you know, entered my brain that you were sticking things underneath your bed. That's so funny.
I think you have somebody at your door. Oh, the dog
Oh,
is at your door.
Kyrie,
Oh, Kyrie.
dog Kyrie.
Oh,
Yeah, she's in and out constantly. So,
yeah. So I
well,
don't like clutter. So
yeah.
although
Well,
I don't,
go ahead.
my husband is not the same.
I,
So
I hear ya.
he
My
likes
husband.
clutter.
He likes clutter in the garage. That's for sure.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't, but he does. It's like this garage is a mess. You've got to organize it, but don't get rid of anything. It's like, well, what do I
Uh-huh.
do with it? So
Yeah,
yeah. Um,
yeah.
another thing that came to my mind was, our mom liked to collect things, not like a ton of things, but like,
A
from
ton
years.
of things.
Okay. I was thinking of like she had a salt and pepper shaker collection, little old fashioned things that may have stemmed from like her grandmother, our great grandmother. I'm not really sure history-wise, where they stemmed from, but she
Right.
had that. She liked carousel, like bells. She liked to collect bells. She liked to collect lighthouses, and she'd have them displayed, very well. So she would take her collections and she'd have them organized and nice, And I was just
Right.
kind of like thinking, are you, do you collect anything? Is there, have you ever collected anything um, like that? Or have you always just been not really big on that sort of thing?
No, when I was younger, I had a polar bear collection, Coca-Cola polar bear collection.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
was
was after you moved out,
best.
I think.
Yeah, at home I don't remember ever collecting anything. But
Right.
moving out, yes, I really liked the Coca-Cola polar bear. So I had kitchen stuff and bathroom stuff, and I actually
Wow.
gave that to one of my daughters. She started collecting the Coca-Cola bears. So I
Okay.
gave all my stuff to her. Christmas time, I have collection. I have a Snow Village.
Oh, yeah.
So I do put that out. I do like to decorate for all the holidays. I mean,
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
So
So
I
you're,
have bins of stuff. So that's how I guess I rotate. Every month is some type of a holiday. And I
yeah,
used to do it at work too. I wanted a different scenery. I just needed change, I guess.
yeah,
So my collections are for like the holidays, 4th of July. I have everything out that's 4th of July, Easter,
yeah.
just all that stuff. But I'm kind of had a big yard sale a couple years ago and got rid of a lot of stuff. So my office is turning into uh, like a Christmas wonderland. It's all
Oh,
Christmas.
cool.
I put
Uh-huh.
all my Christmas stuff out on shelves
Uh,
because that's just seems to be a holly jolly time of the year.
yeah,
It is for Jesus, but it's still a holly jolly time.
right.
That more people seem to be out and about and happy. And I know there's a lot of sadness around the holidays,
Yeah.
but I just, so yeah, I'm downsizing and everything's going to be Christmas in my office.
Oh, very
So
cool. I like that.
that's, yeah.
Yeah. I'm downsizing too. Like some of my Christmassy stuff is like, it's not really my favorite. So,
Right.
donate that stuff and then pick out cuter things or, but I definitely do like to decorate for Christmas. I have the really I just love it. Mom started me out on it, and it's a nativity set, and it's made in Italy. And then my daughter Hannah, she bought me pieces for it, also different little characters to go along with it, and I'm still trying to find a place to put it all. So I have not put it out in the last probably 3 Christmases. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, and I really need to figure out where can I set this up at because it is really just lovely. I love it, and the fact that it
Right.
came from mom. And so, but I'll tell you, you remember that old um, little nativity scene that mom got. I want to say at like a store called Woolworths. I think it was Woolworths,
Right.
you know. And so that I have out that
Oh,
for the last 2 Christmases I've put that out, and but it's so small, it just sits right next to my chair,
oh,
and
okay.
that's been fun, and it just kind of brings back some fun memories of when we were all kids. So,
Right.
and that's something that I don't ever want to give away. It's just I'm going to keep that forever and hope that one of my children will want that. I like how you said
Right.
that you passed down the Coca-Cola polar bears to one of your daughters. I think that's sweet because um there's certain things that we will give away to say goodwill and stuff, but then there's certain things that we don't necessarily want to display anymore, but it still has kind of some special sentimental, you know, reasons for maybe keeping it in the family. I had a friend
Right.
who said, take a picture of it. And you've probably heard this too. Take a picture of it and then give it
Yeah.
away. That way,
Oh, I think I heard that years ago, and you're right. You can have a photo book of all your stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
kind of a neat idea. It is hard to
yeah,
get rid of things. I think
it
the
is.
older you are, the more you start getting rid of it, because what happens is, you know, you're going to pass on, and you're
Mm,
leaving all this stuff, and your kids don't want it anymore. It's not
right.
like it used to be when furniture was handmade
Yeah.
and it families lived together and it just got passed down. Nowadays we have all this stuff, I'll
Yes.
call it,
Yes.
that we want to collect and that we, don't worship, but it's,
Right.
it's just for some reason we're attached to that. And
Mhm.
then when we're gone, our kids go through it and it's like, this isn't my decor. This isn't
Right.
my,
Not
so
my
they're stuck.
style.
So they're stuck cleaning up our stuff. And I think when
Exactly.
mom passed away, that that triggered to me. It's like she had all this stuff. And what I did is I chose like one bell, one lighthouse, one of each of her collection instead of
Right.
trying to take all the collection.
Yeah.
Um, so I have memories of her big collections, but I just have one small thing of that
Yeah.
collection.
Yeah.
So I say when you like I'm at the point where I'm downsizing and getting rid of stuff. If I find somebody that is still collecting what I collected, I would rather they have it than
Yes.
take it to Goodwill or sell, any of the
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
because they're just going to separate it. If somebody has it, and
Right.
one of my daughters wanted to start the Coca-Cola theme in her kitchen, so that was an easy fix. Um,
That's cool.
so yeah, it is hard, uh, and I believe that hoarding is a real problem in our society these days, and all the clutter.
Hmm.
Um, People just hold on to stuff, and I get it
Yeah.
when that generation was that way back then, but now the stuff falls apart,
Yeah.
and it's just your kids go out and we're living longer, so the kids go out and get their own decor, and
Mhm.
then when it's time for us to go, they
Excuse me.
they have to clean it up. And that's one thing I didn't want my kids to have to do is go in and clean up all my stuff. And some things I've tried to give them, and they'll take them and then they'll say, no, you're still here, you put it up, you like it. And it's like, yeah, I like it, but I don't want you to have to come here and pack it up, take it
Right.
now. And I'll tell you what, this just
Uh-huh.
came to me. Our grandma Phil, when she got cancer the second time,
Yeah.
she started giving stuff away, to us kids.
Yeah.
Um, she had a music box collection and she gave that to one of my daughters.
Nice.
And she said that her words were, I want to see you guys enjoy what I enjoyed.
Right.
So she gave it away, and then she would come to our house and she could see the
Yeah.
collection out or whatever. So I
Yeah.
thought that was a really cool thing that she knew she wasn't going to be here forever. And
Right.
she started sharing her stuff early on so she could see the joy that we were having in our homes
Hmm.
to display her items. So that's another way to get rid of stuff too.
Yeah.
Um,
Good
Start
idea.
sharing
Yeah.
now with your grandkids, great grandkids, um, and enjoy it at when you go to their bedroom or their house or something.
Right.
But yeah, Clutter is hard. And, you
Yeah, in
know,
fact, mom had a sign. She had me decorate this sign. It's not clutter, it's country. Remember that? we
I'll tell you another way to get rid of clutter is keep moving
Oh yeah,
because
that's
you
true.
you've been living in your house for 50 years.
That's
So
true. Yes.
you just keep getting all this stuff and you don't get rid of stuff. And with clothes, if I get a new sweatshirt, I have to get rid of one of my old ones.
Okay.
I You
Yeah.
can't keep piling up
Yeah.
clothes. If you get a
Right.
new pair of pants, you
There's
got to
some,
get rid of something.
yeah.
So, because
That's,
how many of our clothes are sticking in the closet that we never wear? Plus, Pajama Granny is on a Fit and Fueled, and she doesn't want to have a bunch of clothes that she has to get rid of because she is downsizing her body.
that's right. Decluttering that body too. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's
Yep.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. Good. Yeah, I do that. I do some of that too when I buy something new. It's like, what can I get rid of? A lot of my clothes, I just look at them every day and I think I'm never going to wear that. So why do I keep it hanging in my closet? So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this just popped into my head earlier today, but I was going to my refrigerator and I'm looking at my refrigerator and it's like, oh my goodness, I need to declutter all my magnets that are on my refrigerator. What's that about? It's so easy to just
But a
why
lot of those is like when your kids travel, do they
yep,
bring you a magnet,
yeah,
or you go someplace and things are so expensive. Oh, I'll just get a little magnet for the refrigerator,
right.
because it's not something big. Or
Yeah.
especially if you're flying, you can't bring
Yeah.
stuff big back. So little magnets. So yeah, I could see your magnets.
Yeah.
Um, Send them
They,
to the grandkids. Kids love magnets on their fridge.
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Because all my kids are grown, but my grandkids, yeah, I should send them to I can send them to two different households. That's a
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
And if those magnets came from one certain child, as
Mhm.
they went someplace and brought you back a
Yeah.
magnet, now you're giving it back to them. It's like, look, this is where you went when you were such and such. Now your kids can
Right.
enjoy the magnet of that's where you went.
Yeah.
But sometimes they'll think, well, I gave you that as a gift. Why are you giving it back? So you have to,
Right.
kind of explain it why, or, some of them
Yeah.
wouldn't want you to give it back. I
Yeah.
know a trick that mom did every holiday because her house would get cluttered too with all her kids
Mm,
and everything.
right.
When it came like the day before the holiday when everyone was going to come over, she would
Uh-huh.
haul everything to her bed.
Oh yeah. Huh. Oh my goodness. I
And
forgot
then
about that.
she would close her bedroom door and not let anybody use her bathroom or go in her room because it was full of all the clutter that she took out of the house to make room for
Yeah.
everybody that was coming over. So
I
that's not
forgot
really
that.
solving the issue, though,
I
that
know.
you're having of clutter.
It's
That's just
kicking a can
hiding
down
it.
the
But
road.
it's got to come out after the holiday or the
Oh,
party or whatever.
right,
So
right.
she won't like it. Well, she would probably laugh that I'm telling her secret that when she would have all her friends over and stuff, that her house was perfect, but it was all on her bed.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. So all these
Yeah.
things that we're thinking of, like I think, okay, I have a major book collection and
Yeah.
that just sits on, it doesn't sit on just one bookshelf. I've got two bookshelves and I need to go through those. The majority of those books I'm not going to read again. So I'm okay with giving them away. I'm okay with packing them up and donating them or taking them to my
Right.
Bible study, seeing if anybody wants them. In fact, the women do that. They'll bring 10 books and say, if you don't take
Oh,
them, I'm donating them. Um, so
oh,
yeah,
that's a good idea.
yeah,
Yeah. Take,
yeah,
you know, I
but
know books are hard to get rid of because it's
yeah,
just like, oh, I do like collect cookbooks, so I had to downsize and try
yeah,
to get rid of those. But yeah, how many times do you reread a book? Um,
exactly. It's rare.
so
It's got to be
yeah,
exceptionally good to want to reread it. Um,
yeah.
but you know what
I
I
think
admire about you, Deb, is you know how to work a good garage sale. You are like the champion. We had one here. You were a part of that, and we had a ton of people come. Remember that? That was years ago.
yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
were like the yard sale queen, I'll call you.
When you need
Well,
money, one way to get it, you know.
yard sale.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, because what do they say? What's one man's clutter is another man's jewels.
yes,
So
treasure. I have that on my
yeah,
notes
treasure.
for our chat
Oh,
today.
okay.
That's funny. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, one man's
Yeah.
because it's so
So,
true. It's so true. Somebody else can take that. You take an old rickety old chair, and some
uh-huh.
of these, I'll say men and women, but I've seen a lot of women crafters, painters, who will take this ugly old beat up chair, paint it, and decorate it, and turn it into the cutest darn thing, and sell it like it sells like that. And I'm thinking,
Right.
wow, I'd like to have that, but to us, it was just junk. Get rid of it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. The refurbishing what people are doing is really popular. So you
yeah,
could probably go on eBay or some of those other sites and find people that are looking for books or looking for your
true.
collection and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
gi-
true.
give it away that way too.
Remember the old Reader's Digest books that we would
Yes.
take and we would turn them into Christmas trees?
Trees.
Take us
Yes.
to. So I saw a YouTube video, not like maybe a week ago, and they were taking
Mhm.
old books that were thicker books, and they were removing the cover, removing the side spine, but it still left the glue, so all the pages were together. And then
Okay.
they were folding the pages just like the old Reader's Digest that we would do, and they were, spray painting them and turning them into Christmas trees as well. And I thought, well, that's pretty clever, also. Um, but I personally anymore, I don't want to take the time to do stuff like that. To me,
Okay.
it's just not in my not a desire because I love to do crafty things, but I have to weigh, is this worth the time? Not for me, so I'm not going to do it. But
Right.
I think things like that are really cute, and I appreciate when people do come up with something
Right.
entirely different from an ordinary object. I think that's really
Right.
cool.
Yeah. So we just got to keep a lookout for people who want books or,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard. I know stuff gets attached to our hearts and we think we can't give it up,
Yep.
you know.
Exactly. A couple
Yeah.
other things I just wanted to kind of quickly talk about when we collect things. It can be magazines from, 2 years ago. We can have piles of magazines, old
Sorry, two,
newspapers.
two, 2 years ago, my husband has magazines from 40 years ago. I
Really?
have
Wow.
buckets and buckets of magazines, car magazines, hunting magazines.
Oh my
I'm
God.
really 40 years ago, and it's like, what are you planning on doing with all these? They
Yeah.
used to be on a shelf. Now I put them in those big old totes,
Okay.
and it's like they don't.
They take
you
a
know.
broom. Are you ever going to look at them again?
Uh-huh. And they
What?
get dusty, and it's like, this is crazy. What do
Yeah.
you do with something
What
like that?
does it serve? Are you going to make Christmas trees out of them? Okay. You can keep them. Oh gosh. Yeah, there's so much. But so, okay, so let's bring it to today and 2025 in just a couple of weeks. And you know me, I came up with a few, I just looked for some Bible verses regarding being new things. And one of the verses is from Psalm 96:1. It says, "Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord, all the earth." So my mindset is just kind of like, okay, what will be refreshing? What will be new in 2025? We've got this whole new year, a fresh new canvas, and how are we going to fill it? I personally, I want to clear out the clutter of 2024 and be ready for, whatever the Lord has in store for me and for us. I want that. That's new and that's exciting. And I want to be cleaned out, up here and with the clutter that just distracts me, every day. I want to have that all
Right.
cleared out so that I can just be ready for whatever the Lord has in store. Another Bible verse is from 2 Corinthians 5:17. It says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come." And that's for the believer who has accepted Christ as their Savior. The old man is put aside. We still have a sinful nature, but we are forgiven. And God cleanses us from the inside out. And, it's such an awesome thing to be of a new spirit in the Lord. And
There you
so,
go.
I love that. And then
Okay.
Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for your good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." And I just see that as, into the new year, God's got plans for us. Be ready for those plans. Just have that mindset that you can just shed the old stuff and look forward to what God's got in planned for you in the new year. And then Ephesians, I'll finish up with this one. Ephesians 4, verses 22 through 24, it says, "To put off your old self, which belongs to your former manner of life and is corrupt through deceitful desires, and to be renewed in the spirit of your minds, and to put on the new self, created after the likeness of God in true righteousness and holiness." So let's set out to have that. We want what God wants for us. Let's just let him have his perfect way with us. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
And if we're surrounded by all this stuff, all this that you're calling clutter,
Yeah,
uh, like you said, it distracts you.
it does.
So, it's nice to have collections and, things like that you've collected over the years. I get that, or that your kids gave you, things like that. But there should be a place for it and a season for it,
Right.
and keep the clutter out of our sight, which will be out of our mind also.
Mm-hmm.
And keep the cluttering food out of your sight.
Yeah.
So it's out of your mind.
Clean out those kitchen pantry cupboards to get rid of
Yes.
junk food.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not good to have that stuff around.
No.
And at holiday times, I know people are knocking on your door, giving you the cookies and the fudge, and
Yeah.
so I'm taking mine to church.
Oh, good idea. Yes, because you can have a bite of it and then everybody else can have a bite too, That's so much better. So much better.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I'm looking for Revelation 21:5. I wanted to also just share that real quick. It's going to take me a minute, so we'll chat until I can find it.
Okay.
This one I did not write down. Oh, here it is. It says, okay, well, I'll say this first. And this is Revelation 21, verse 5. And he who sits on the throne said, Behold, I am making all things new. And he said, Write, for these words are faithful and true. Ultimately, God is going to make a new heaven and a new earth. And in the meantime, he will keep us occupied here. And we want to clear out the garbage and fill it with the good stuff that God's got for us. And that's my hope for you, my sister, and for everybody that hears this. That's my hope for
Amen.
From this day forward. Yes.
Well, and remember, it's all going to burn up. We'll either be gone and leave it here for our kids or grandkids to clean up, or when the Lord comes back, it's all going to be burned up. So you're not going to have it anyways.
Exactly.
Don't store up treasures.
Here on earth.
But here on earth. Yeah.
In heaven.
Yeah. So since you brought this up to be decluttered, how much decluttering did you do before you decided we were going to talk about it?
Yeah, so I've been working my tail off since this morning. I have, in fact, it's funny because I'm going to be meeting with a young mom who homeschools. She's the daughter of one of my friends. I'm going to meet her at 1:00 today. And I've got some really fun things like different stamps, different they call them punchers or punches, different shapes, like you can make a gift tag, you can make a heart, a cross, etc. I've got all these different punches, and I think these are things that the kids could be doing. They can be using these because they're just sitting in my closet. I no longer do little stamp cards and this and that. So I'm giving away those things to her, which is clearing out space in my closet, which is good. And then I'm just also
new.
What's that?
Not to put anything new in that cleaned out closet.
I know.
But, and that's another thing. I forgot about that. There's so many people that homeschool. There's a lot of stuff. Books they may like the book.
I've got kids' books.
Arts and crafts stuff. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
To pass it on to homeschoolers.
Yeah.
Good for you. So you got a little more closet space. That's nice.
And let me add too, like with the homeschoolers, like I know some people, they'll want to put their items on Craigslist, of course, to try to get some money. But a lot of times homeschoolers they're homeschooling on a budget. And so I want to just give it, that's just me personally. I want to just give it for free. I don't want to put it on Craigslist and ask for $20 or whatever. I just think, no, these items are going to be used for good. Bless this family with these items because, I think it's great.
Yes.
Anyway. Yeah. So, but God, and then there's things that I've held on, like, okay, so this is silly, but I held on to a wreath holder from a florist. And I've had it now for, I don't know, well, since like 2019. It's a very quality wreath stand. And I kept thinking, well, someday I'll probably use this again. I'll use it. I'll make a wreath and it'll go to, say, a celebration of life service or something. Like, I always just kept thinking, I'll make a wreath and I'll use it. It's time to part with it. Been in my closet, taking up space. I don't need it. I'm not going to use it. I'm giving it away. It's silly things
Oh,
like that that
right.
I just have to say goodbye. It's okay. And I'm not going to take a
Yeah,
picture of that because it's not attractive. Like, it's just not attractive, but it's quality. It's definitely quality. I do appreciate that it's, a nice stand and somebody
right,
use it,
right.
So it's just getting rid of
Even
like that.
even a homeschooler, could they be teaching from that, or like
They
it's not a
could.
platform thing?
Yeah, no,
It's
they
around.
could. You could put one of those big flip charts or something on
Oh
it.
yeah,
You could.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
So,
But,
think
you know,
another use for it. Yeah.
right.
Well, good for you. We'll have to do a recap and see how far
Okay.
you are on decluttering.
All right.
And
Sounds
when I
good.
do get back home, we'll recap it again and we'll declutter my office because that's the
Okay.
space that had all my stuff in that I'm decluttering.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, ladies, reach out to us. Let us know how you're decluttering, what you're decluttering, where you send it to, who you send it
Yeah.
to. I know I see a lot of free stuff on the side of the road, so people are doing that now too. I don't
Mhm.
know how legal that is I guess it can't be out there blocking sidewalks or something, but I have seen that.
Yeah.
So, yes, ladies, as you're decluttering your office or your bedroom, declutter that refrigerator and those cupboards for Pajama Granny. And to see a
Yeah.
new year, new freshness on your in your cupboards and on your fridge and on your waistline.
That's right. Don't forget that. That is important for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, Deb. I really appreciate
All
you
right.
chatting with
Yes, it was
me.
nice chatting with you. And thanks for the podcast today. And I
You're
hope we bless those out there that are watching it. And
welcome.
thank you
So
so
true.
much. And
Yep.
we will sign off now, both of us,
All
at,
right.
much at
Take
the same
care.
time.
Yes. Take care, everybody.
Okay, thanks.